First time live stream, it always is like this. You might just need to close YouTube.
Okay, let's try this. Can you hear me?
Sounds good to me. Yes, I can. We'll see if there's feedback or not. I don't hear it yet.
I don't hear it either. I think we made it.
I think we figured it out.
I think we figured it out. All right. Excellent. Okay, so we got lots of people in the chat. We got Carl Karsnark. We have Big Hat Legion, Mango Man, Warrior Girl 113, Hi May, if I'm saying that correctly. And we have Thomas J, who gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Thomas J. Stephen was just telling me how that works. So apparently, snaps. So apparently, the way that works is the next 10 people who come on, they get a membership. Is that how that works?
I'm pretty sure they've all already been assigned.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you, Thomas J. That was very, very kind of you. Okay. I totally know that nerd. We got Danny McKay there and William McQuitty. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Disputed Lands. My name is Amanda. I go by Crowfood's daughter. And today I have Stephen Stark with me. Stephen, did you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi. You can call me Steven, Steve, Stev. They all apply equally. I'm not too messed up. People call me different things, but as long as I know you're talking to me. I've known Amanda for many years now. We've hung out at the con together many times. I've lost many a foam sword fight to her. But yeah, I've been playing D&D for a long time. I mastered the dungeon and I know things. So we've been part of the same fan community for a long time. I used to stream myself. I haven't done it in a while. It's been about 6 months since I've done any streaming, but which, by the way, I was getting nervous right before we went live too, which is why I had to run off and take some anxiety medication, let's say, real quick. But yeah, I've been playing D&D for a long, long time. I'm a professional dungeon master right now. I kind of specialize in teaching new people how to play. I've got several games going right now, always looking for more. So if you want to learn to play D&D, I'm your guy. And yeah, I guess that's enough about me.
Excellent. So I am newer to the to D&D. I've been playing for a couple of years now, and I completely love it. It is A Song of Ice and Fire and D&D. It is now my bread and butter as far as my hobbies go. I just went to GaryCon for the first time this year. It was amazing. I had a great time, and I thought, what better thing to do than to try and combine the two? So today we are going to build Sandor Clegane as a playable character. So we were discussing it a little bit already before the stream. And one of the first things that we start off with is the class and the level. And so what are your thoughts, Stephen?
Okay, so we did talk about this a little bit. And I think that it's important that you establish early on, because you plan on doing multiple of these eventually, right?
Yes.
I think
like to do several builds.
I think there's a lot of meat on that bone too, if you wanted to do it. I will say, establishing now how you're going to level scale is going to change how you make every build down the road. For me, there's nobody in A Song of Ice and Fire that's probably actually higher than level 4. If I'm being generous, some of the most superior ones might be level 5, 6, even 7. But I'm a stingy when it comes to that. The way D&D is built, the way the rules are written, power scales pretty dramatically as you level up. But if you wanted to make a 20th level character for Sandor Clegane, you could do that too. You're just establishing that that's the level you're building at for all of them in the future. So that being said, see, like Big Hat Legion agrees with me. 7 is very generous. Like,
very nice.
but
It's
like,
fun. Go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, so I was discussing this at my D&D table, and I was thinking, like maybe level 10, even as high as level 12, and they're like, you going that low? And they're thinking, I was thinking more like level 14 or 16, and so I actually appreciate it being lower because the builds that I have done so far, the highest build I have done so far is actually level 12. Which was insanely fun to build. So we're looking at a lower class build, a lower level build. So we're gonna go with what does the chat think? Where should we go?
Yeah, sound off. What level character should we make?
What level do you think we should make?
I'm waiting for the chat to catch up to the lag.
At least 4th, okay.
Yeah, at least like I think level 4 is bare minimum.
4, yes.
William says 7. Big Hat Legion says 5.
Oh, we got a 3 here. Yeah, Steve saying 3. 5 sounds like a good median. Do you want to go with 5?
Yeah, and I mean, like 5 is the lowest level of second tier play. Like 5 is when a lot of your big abilities come online for fighters, which I'm seeing Sandor Clegane mostly as a pure fighter. We'll have that conversation, but you get the extra attack feature, so it's 2 hits per turn at level 5, which I think if you're going to make level 5 that's sort of like benchmark of the top level people, you've got to put Sandor Clegane there. Absolutely.
And I totally agree. Like a straight fighter is definitely a good way to go with him. We could talk about his, connections to the Quiet Isle and, that whole Oath of Vengeance paladin, but he's really not a paladin. He's just really vengeful.
You do not have to be a paladin to have an oath.
To have that vengeance. You do not have to be a paladin. No, but he does have a connection to the faith of the 7, but he just does not have those paladin qualities to him. So we are.
Steve Dory says he's clearly a Kinsai monk. Very funny. Had a Kinsai monk in a game I played that I DM'd not long ago. It's a fun character to watch grow. I'm seeing some love for level 6, and that changes things because a fighter at level 6 gets another feat or another ASI, which we're not as worried about ASIs because I think we also decided we're just going to give him stats, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's an extra feat.
Yes. So our object is not to build the most overpowered character. Our object is right now we are going to build a character that is truest to the characters that we know and love. So we're not trying to make this, superheroes. We are trying to make a true to the character Sandor Clegane. And so we have our class. We have a fighter. So we have a 5th level fighter. And race. I think that the only option is going to be human. We do have a conversation about whether or not we want to go the classic human or the human variant.
So this is where I think we can min-max a little bit. Since we're just assigning stats, we don't care about the stat pluses from race.
Exactly.
So we just go variant human and give them a free feat.
Yes. So we are going to go human variant. And we'll take a look at that extra.
I just got to say, somebody called Ice White Shut which is a fantastic name, by the way, says they don't know what we're doing. We're making Sandor Clegane as a D&D character. Which, yeah, ought to be fun.
Oh, Chris S. He says Redemption Paladin. He's got some redemption type stuff going, but if we were gonna go Paladin, I feel like Oath of Vengeance is just the way to go for him. If we were gonna go Paladin, the only problem is that he just doesn't have those Paladin qualities that we were. That we all love with our Paladin character.
What's the oath that he's sworn? He could be an Oath of the Crown Paladin.
Well, he did wear the white cloak, and so you could say that he had oaths, but he wasn't oath. Oh no, that was loud. I'm okay.
By the way, it's funny that people are like Redemption Paladin. My friend William McQuitty is in the chat, and he played an Oath of Devotion Paladin named Redemption, a tiefling character. So it's just what funny moment for me personally.
Okay. So right now we are looking at a 5th level fighter, human variant. Background is going to be the next item.
Isn't it technically noble?
Well, he is a noble, but there's more than just the noble option, and he isn't necessarily. I mean, he is a noble, but he is the son of a landed knight who was like a kennel master. He only became a landed knight because of the fact that his father had saved the Lord of Casterly Rock from being mauled to death by lions. And so they are they are nobles, but they are not necessarily the Lannisters.
That's fair. That's fair.
So so we have the option of the noble, and we can take a look at the noble background. And
because I'm trying to think of what else he might be. I guess he could be soldier. Because,
yeah.
he was never like a rank and file soldier like that, but he definitely grew up around fighting. Is a trained fighter, a very skilled trained fighter. Yeah. Steve Dory says mechanically he fits the folk hero better than noble, and that might be accurate.
That might be accurate.
But generally, I think of the folk hero as somebody who's like the poor boy done good. Everybody locally loves him, and that is certainly not Sandor. He's like, nobody really likes Sandor Clegane. Within the story itself, nobody really likes him. I love the guy. Don't get me wrong, but in world, he's not very well liked.
So I'm trying to look up. Compare the two, but I'm new to StreamYard, so it's not because I'm sharing my screen. I think that I have to open up a new browser to. Let's take a look. I think I made it. I think we're there. So let's compare folk hero to noble. Let's see what we got as options.
Also would like to point out Shane Coker. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Shane. Says if you only do 5th level with 5th edition rules, there's not going to be much variance between most fighters in the realms. And they say we should do 8th. So we're still we can circle back to level at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you can always go. You can always.
Yeah, you can always add. I like the idea. Let's make a 5th level fighter and see how we feel. And Shane, maybe you're right.
Okay. So, folk hero, you come from a humble social rank, but you are destined for so much more. Already the people of your home village regard you as their champion, and your destiny calls you to stand against the tyrants and monsters that threaten the common folk everywhere. So I mean that can kind of fit into his character. And skill proficiencies, he does have animal handling and survival. He is very good with his horse that nobody else is good with, stranger. And he's also very good with dogs. So that's an option. That is definitely an option.
Okay.
Survival is always good. So that is an option. Let's take a look at the noble background.
The noble just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rich kids.
Yeah, basically rich kids, and he's not necessarily that. He is basically like a sworn sword to Joffrey Baratheon. Let's see. Yes. You understand power, wealth, and privilege. You carry a noble title, and your family owns land, collects taxes, and wields significant political influence. And I don't think his family wields that much political,
okay.
influence. You might be a pampered aristocrat, unfamiliar with work or discomfort, and I don't see that either. So I would go more toward the folk hero. I do like the soldier background too. There, I think that soldier background also gives you proficiency with athletics and something else. Oh, and there's also the mercenary, like soldier background. That's a new one. I think veteran.
I haven't seen the newest stuff.
Okay, so here it is. So skill proficiencies with soldier is athletics and intimidation, which I think works really well.
He's got both of those, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it says war has been your. Oh, go ahead.
It might fit better than the folk hero one.
Okay. And it says war has been your life for as long as you can remember. You trained as a youth, studied and used the use of weapons and armor, learned basic survival techniques, including how to stay alive on the battlefield. You might have been a part of a standing national army or a mercenary company, or perhaps a member of a local militia who rose to prominence during a recent war. So, you could flavor that as, his militia or his group as being the King's Guard. You can flavor it as that, but I feel like it's pretty close. It's either a soldier or folk hero, probably. What is the chat? What are you guys thinking here?
We'll give them a minute to catch up. See, the thing about backgrounds is none of them are perfect, and they're never going to be. And I think that's a larger point that I want to make, is that none of this is going to be perfect. We can't even agree what level we should be making them.
No.
And so a lot of times, and this is me speaking from experience, when it comes to the rules, just get close and then tell your dungeon master, and their dungeon master will flavor things and can change this into that. If you've got a good one, I feel like they will do what they can to accommodate you, and I feel like that's what we should do. Take what we've got and make it work for Sandor.
Okay, so we got Big Hat Legion is voting for a soldier, and Steve has voted for folk hero. I feel as though the soldier is pretty close, at least as far as the skill proficiencies go. Just intimidation and athletics, and it could definitely be flavored in a way for Sandor Clegane.
He's just trained to fight his whole life.
Yes. All right, so let's go ahead. Yeah, I like it too. So we're going to give him the soldier background, and what we're going to do is we are going to give him proficiency in intimidation and athletics. Excellent. Okay.
Fantastic.
Perfect. All right, next. Okay, alignment. Are we going to debate alignment?
Believe me, we can. And as somebody who's played through so many iterations of this game and watched alignment in and out of favor and spent too much time about thinking about what it even means, I would just call it neutral.
I was thinking the same thing, to be perfectly honest with you. Chaotic neutral, Steve. I was
I
thinking a true
don't think
neutral
he's that chaotic.
he, no, because he's pretty lawful. Like he does what he's sworn to Joffrey, and he basically did whatever his Joffrey had told him to do, and until the whole wildfire battle of the Blackwater.
Yeah, like everybody has their breaking point, but
Yes, yeah.
but yeah, I've always I find him to be true neutral. Like he doesn't go out of his way to hurt people, but he has no compunction against hurting people.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
All right. I think we are going to give him the true neutral.
Chaotic loyal. I like that.
Chaotic loyal. Beautiful. All right. And I cannot spell soldier. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so we have this. We have a level 5 fighter. Do you want to start? We could move over to the stats.
I think we need to. I think we need to.
Yeah, I think so too. So strength.
Okay, so he is not the strongest person in the story.
He's close. He's very strong.
Close. That's why I want to give him a 19.
Okay, I feel that's fair. I was thinking 18 or 19. I feel that's pretty fair.
Like the mountain, 20.
20. Yes.
But
yes.
Sandor, I'm going to give him a 19.
Yeah, 20 maybe with a belt of giant strength added.
Right. By the way, total like off in the left field for just a hot second. Have you played Baldur's Gate 3?
I have not, but Shane plays it. I watch it sometimes. Just,
okay.
For fun. I'll watch him play. I do not play Baldur's Gate. I have heard, I've heard, I've seen like all kinds of crazy stuff. Like you can do so much in that game. It like
love that game. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So there's some Steve says a 15 strength. I'm gonna disagree, and I'll tell you why. In the books, he's described as like extremely strong, and he is a very large man. Not next to the mountain, but next to everyone else, he is big and strong. Yes. Like, that's why I think a 19. I would love to hear why you like Rory McCann. That's who plays him on the TV show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Rory McCann is a big man, but he is like... part of me wants to lean into the book description of him a little more because he is just as intimidating as he is on the TV show. His book persona is maybe even more so.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go into the appearance and character. I'm not going to scour through the books. I'm going just straight to the wiki and going to read off the appearance and character just really quickly. So Sandor is a huge and heavily muscled man. Gray eyes, his nose is large and hooked, and his long hair is dark and thin. One side of his face is gaunt with sharp cheekbones and a heavy brow, while the other side is a burned ruin of scars. And it goes on to discuss just his appearance. So according to George R. R. Martin, Sandor is taller than King Robert Baratheon, Brienne of Tarth, and Lord Renly Baratheon, and Sir Jaime Lannister. The only two characters that he's shorter than is obviously the Mountain, Hodor, and Lord John Umber. So he is one of the tallest characters, and he's even taller than Brienne and King Robert. Jaime regards Sandor as one of the strongest living men in Westeros. But the Kingslayer thinks he could defeat the Hound's strength with his own speed and skill. So this is a very strong character, and Jaime Lannister regards him as one of the strongest men living in Westeros. So he's not as strong as his brother. He's not a 20.
Yeah.
But he is one of the strongest characters that are in the series. So I would definitely give him, commoner. That's right, Steve. So commoner stats have a strength of 10. Says he doesn't think that that's much stronger than an average person based on things that we have seen him do. I mean, I think that's fair too, but when you think of the 20 as the strongest that a person can get, with a 20 being the mountain, just for, I guess, comparison's sake, I would definitely give the Hound something like an 18. roll for it. That's what we were talking about there. I was like, well, should we start at standard array? Should we do standard array? Should we? Yeah.
Yeah.
But we feel like to build the truest character, we kind of have to talk it out and assign these things to him.
Right. Like I would be, if people think that is too high, I can go as low as a 17.
Yeah, and William has a good point. You need at least a 15 strength to wear heavy armor. And Loris wears full plate, and so he's at least got to have a 15. I feel pretty confident about Sandor at least having a 17. I think 18's fair.
I would roll a die right now for John H, except I don't have one within arm's reach. Although I'd grab one.
16 to 19 strength. Christy says 17. Okay, do you want to go with 17?
That's fine. It's great.
Okay, let's do that. Let's move. Okay, and then I put the 17 in the big box.
That's how I do it.
Is that how you do it? So some people do it the other way.
Yeah, those people are heretics.
They're chaotic evil. So he's a monster. Needs to bring. Yep. Okay, 17 or 18. Absolutely, Shane. Absolutely. Okay, so
that's
we are going to
+3 modifier if you care to do that. If you don't, but like
if you just get 17 or 18, I'm rage quitting. So John, he is at a 17, so you don't have to rage quit.
Unless you're a barbarian.
True that.
Then that's how you make your living. Okay, so dexterity is a bit of a dump stat for Sandor. Like, I don't think he's clumsy by any means, but like...
Yes. I mean, as a fighter, I feel like his two higher stats are going to be strength and dex. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a complete dump stat for him. But he is big. I would say he's high. I would say it's maybe slightly better than average. Maybe.
I'd be happy giving him a 10.
You think a 10?
Sure.
Just average dex? Yeah, I mean, he is definitely a strength-based fighter.
Yeah, like, wait till you hear what I think his constitution is.
Oh, Big Hat Legion, 5 to 9, legit? For real?
I could go as low as an 8.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. See, a lot of people are thinking like not high.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, John H. I was thinking, like slightly better than average. I was thinking like 11, 12, maybe.
Okay, but why? What about
just to be able to do what he does? Just as
but by DnD standards, that's a high strength, not a high dex. Like he's not using dex for anything in his fighting style, as far as 5e is concerned.
Yeah, but we're talking about the characters.
That's
in
true.
General. Yeah, so we're building so what we're doing is we're taking Sandor Clegane and we're building him. And he does have some dex. I would say he's not like a very dexterous person, but I would say it's slightly better than average, especially for what he does. He is, he is.
See, that's to me, that's levels of experience, not dexterity.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's training.
That's it.
But
he's still hard to hit.
By the way, this is a fun conversation to be having, by the way. As somebody who spends way too... when do we see him naked and somebody trying to hit him?
I think it just means if he doesn't have armor on. So without armor,
right,
he'd still be able to kind of dodge.
I mean, like, hey, you know what? Let's split the difference and just give him. Well, what do you think? Because I think the number is 10. That's what I think it is.
I think 10's fair. I mean, I will go with 10. I will go with 10. So
some people are liking 12.
And I see, I'm thinking.
Yeah, Shane is thinking between it, as a 12 or better.
Yeah.
Steve is thinking a 12.
And yeah, maybe a plus one.
Okay, you know what? I'm fine with that too. I'm like,
okay, let's give him a 12. Let's give him a 12.
I'm hardly going to start flipping the table over here,
Okay, so we have a strength of 17, dex of 12. I think this is con. Oh, I think.
Okay, ooh. Hear me out. 20 because he's damn near impossible to kill.
You know what? I'm thinking that too. His brother killed all of his other family members, and he's got scars on him. He lived.
Like the Gravedigger, he's still not dead.
Exactly. He's what is it that takes a licking and keeps on ticking?
Yep.
Is it?
Yep.
What is it?
Okay.
Ain't no dex to kind of use.
I'm seeing some love for 20 in the chat.
Yeah, I see a lot of 20. I feel good about 20. I do. I definitely do. He is one tough cookie. All right, we're gonna go ahead and assign him a 20 for his con. Not 23.
23.
Okay, so all right, now we are going to intelligence. I was thinking maybe an 8.
Oh no. See, now I wanted it to be higher.
Okay.
I think he's so he is not highly educated, but and I think his wisdom is better than his intelligence, but I feel like that really is wisdom based when we're talking about DnD.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe intelligence 8, wisdom average, maybe slightly higher than average.
No, I actually think he's got a pretty high wisdom, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because he reads people really well. He's got a sense for. He tries to advise Sansa about how to not get herself in trouble. Like he's okay. I don't know 16 wisdom. I might say 14 wisdom.
I think 16 is pretty high. I really do.
Yeah,
at least
I think 16 is too high.
I do. I think that 16 is too high. I would give him maybe 16 wisdom. Steve's going with 16 wisdom. John H is saying maybe 11 or 12. I was thinking somewhere around like 13.
For wisdom?
For intelligence.
Ooh, Blue Insanity. Hi, buddy. That's one of my like about 5 of my players are in the chat right now.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. William McQuitty, Jaded Redhead, and then Blue Insanity, who just popped in. I know that I may have seen some other ones earlier too. Anyway, hi guys. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so Periscopic says 13 wisdom, 12 intelligence.
Okay.
Okay.
I would say it's intelligence is probably his dumb stat. I really do.
I'm willing to go as low as 10, just average. I don't think he's Yeah,
Oh, I
like
don't think he's dumb. I wouldn't. I don't think he's dumb, but yeah. Let's okay. So go with a 10 intelligence.
uh-oh. Hopefully she'll be back real soon because right now it's just me. I think she lost connection somehow. So I'm going to keep you guys entertained the best I can. It is just me now, right?
No, I don't
And she's
know
back.
what happened. Hi guys. I don't know what happened. I'm kind of new with the live streaming thing. But we're gonna try and get this back to where it was showing. Steven, you might have to remind me. So the layout, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see if we can get the layout back. Like that.
Did it like kick you out completely? You probably have to present.
I had to re-enter. Okay, so the present part.
Present.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Share screen. Is that
Yep.
the one?
Correct.
Share screen. There we go. Back. Okay. We're learning as we go. Okay. Can everybody see the screen again? Beautiful. Okay.
So before we commit, let's talk about his charisma because Blue Insanity says charisma is his dump stat, and I actually tend to agree with that. Like,
yeah, I think that's good.
although, like,
true.
I say that, and then like I am on this crusade to change the way that people view charisma in 5e because the way it's implemented, on some level, it represents force of personality and willpower. It's not just I'm cute, you know.
Right.
It's not.
Well,
it's not even just I'm likable. Like you know who has an amazing charisma? Tywin Lannister, because he walks into a room, people pay attention, he gets results.
Right. Well, and then there's a duality with it because intimidation is also part of the charisma,
Right.
like skill set. And so you have on one side of the coin, you have this whole like persuasion and getting people to do things, but then on the other end of the coin, you have intimidation, which they're kind of competing, but they're also just two different flavors of how you influence others. But I think that we were talking before the stream, and I think that we have a really good way to reconcile his charisma score.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that in a second. Are we still on intelligence? Because I have his intelligence down as a 10 currently. We're going with the 10 for intelligence.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the 10 intelligence. I don't know if anybody else. So like some people in the chat have been not exactly there, but we're all kind of close around 10, I think.
Okay. All right. So we're moving on to wisdom. And I do agree his wisdom's probably higher than average just because he's been around court for a long time. He can read people. He is intelligent enough to stay alive when all of his other family members were killed by the mountain. Like he has got some survival instincts. He's got, he kind of knows what's going on. He's more the strong silent type, but he does have just that understanding of what's happening around him. So what would you say?
I want to give him a 14, but that's a +2. And like I'm also like min-maxing it because I keep hitting for those even numbers,
Okay, yeah, and that's not necessarily what we're doing,
right? So why don't we give him a 13? Why don't we give him a 13?
Would be good. I think 13 is fair. So let's move to 13. Haha, now we're at charisma.
Okay, a lot of people just are saying just throw an 8 in there. And I think that we can do that.
I think it might be lower.
Lower than an 8?
Yes, but
I think his imposing self combats that a little bit.
Right. But so what I had in mind, this is like just me kind of looking at what you can do in D&D and within the rules, is they have something in the Dungeon Master's Guide called Imposing Wounds. And there's like this Imposing Wounds table. And in the Imposing Wounds table, there is something called the Hideous Scar. And that's exactly what the Hound has. He has a humongous, hideous scar right on his face, and it's very intimidating. That's like a very specific thing about his character. And with this hideous scar that is in the Insidious Wounds table, you get disadvantage on persuasion checks, but you get advantage on intimidation checks. And I feel that just embodies the Hound so good.
I agree.
Blue Insanity, Homeboy could intimidate an 8-year-old girl, just saying. That's true. But, you know, Arya's hard to intimidate. She kind of is. She's got some balls of steel. We got Voice of Ginkdom in the chat right now.
What's up? So where did I say it? John H says, do I view charisma as affecting willpower? John always looked at wisdom as representing willpower. Like the way that has been implemented has changed from edition to edition. In 5e, charisma is has a lot more to do with willpower than it used to, which is why I'm trying, like the things that call for charisma, like charisma saving throws, a lot of times are, can we swear on your channel? Do you swear?
I don't normally, but
let's just say Fey shenanigans. There you go. Fey creatures, because they're affecting like the will of your creature. Charisma saves, the way they're implemented, they look like willpower saves most of the time.
Absolutely.
Which you can be like, you can think of force of personality, force of will, like the ability for me to impose my will on someone else. I can see why they do it that way. I have always thought of wisdom as being the willpower stat up until basically 5e.
Mm-hmm. John H saying we are talking about the Hound, so it is okay to swear.
Well, I was just gonna Fey effery. I don't want to, it's your channel. I want to respect the way you do things.
You can. I swear too sometimes. One of these days I'll have some drinks or whatever. And
Sandray.
Sandry.
I love you.
I almost wore one of your shirts today. Next time I come on, I will wear one of your shirts.
I've got my Sandry blanket right here. Actually, my Night Gathers and Now My Watch Begins blanket, and another one of my players, for the record. Not currently, but I played with Sandry for about 2 years. Yes, I know she's getting married tomorrow.
Oh my goodness! So Sandry, congratulations! We were there when they got engaged. We both were. Yep. In fact, there's other people in the chat. Shane was there. I am so happy for you guys. Congratulations. I wish you guys both many blessed and happy years. That is so amazing. Oh, Shane I would love a drink. Thank you. Then I can swear.
I'll take one too while you're at it, Shane. Okay, so let's get back to, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, charisma. So yes. 8 or 10, 9?
I would say it's below 10, but with that hideous scar, that insidious wounds, I would say an 8, but then add the Insidious Wounds hideous scar.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
The disadvantage on persuasion and advantage on intimidation.
And he already has proficiency in intimidation as well. So
exactly. So he's probably not going to lose any.
Right, he's very intimidating.
Like he is like if he wants to intimidate you, he probably will. Let's take a look here. Let's add that to there. And the way I do that is I add a little text box to show you guys how I just do my builds. I'll just add a little text box and I'll just put advantage right there. Make it. There we go. And that just reminds me I have advantage. And then on our persuasion right here, we have disadvantage.
I like that.
Okay, that's how I do it. And how do you guys do it? I would love to know everybody's different ways to do that. That's how I do that.
I run all of my games through Roll20.
Okay.
And I can tweak any character sheet to do whatever I need it to. Their character sheet is very good. It's not the best, but it is very good. And I know how to edit it very easily. So I use Roll20 basically for all of my games. And it looks more or less like that, but I can go into a settings and just be like, always, I have advantage on this. I have double proficiency on this. I have half proficiency in that. There's a leveling up engine that'll do it all for you, but I can also edit it pretty easily. Have you ever used Roll20, Amanda?
I have not. Ask about Crofa's necklace. I have a necklace. I'm not wearing a necklace. I don't understand. Okay.
Couldn't tell you.
I have not. I couldn't tell you either.
It's a necklace of invisibility.
Necklace of invisibility. So Voice of Geekdom had a good comment. If I'm DMing, Sander would use his strength or his intimidation text instead of his charisma. I don't know if you were here when Voice of Geekdom, I don't know if you were here when we were talking. They do have something that's like almost perfectly made for Sander Clegane in the Dungeon Master's Guide. It is on the Insidious Wounds table. It's called the Hideous Scar, and you get advantage on intimidation checks and disadvantage on persuasion checks. And that's like perfectly. Ha 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 ha! The one Amanda wears. So that is Bert right there. Okay. So I have.
Is this one of you? Is this someone you play with?
Yes, this is one of my buddies at the table, and I have a character. Her name is Amanda, and she is a dragonborn barbarian. And her like go-to move is she tears the dicks off of her enemies after she kills them. And so like Chayla from in of the ears clan that she has the necklace. Chayla, you guys, anyway, from the mountain clan in the Vale. So I have my character has a necklace of castrated male genitalia, and that her name is Amanda the Emasculator, and they actually got me a necklace. So I do have a necklace.
Look at the time. Gotta go, y'all. See you later. I'm kidding.
Yeah, so that's what my character does. She is a badass.
Yeah, that's horrifying. I was a player today. I'm fortunate enough that I am a professional dungeon master. People pay me to play to like run games for them. But I trade free games with other DMs to get to some playtime, and I was playing my barbarian earlier today. Currently dead, waiting to get raised dead. Right. Currently waiting on a raised dead spell.
Oh wow, barbarians are the fun. I love barbarians. I'll even like make a voice for my barbarians. Just be like, I'm gonna rip his dick up, you know.
I'm a wizard main, but like I've been playing a long
Yeah.
time. I've played them all, you know.
Oh, I love barbarian. I love the fighting class of characters. And getting back to fighting class characters, we are looking at charisma for Sander
I
Clegg.
think we decided to 8, right?
I think we did. I think we decided on an 8. 8. And why is that small? Oh, I am in the text. Let me get out of text and put it right there. And we have both agreed that this is the correct way to add in putting these at the top. Thank you.
Yes, yes. The main stat is the big number. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Exactly. Okay, so let's see.
Man, I just got to say, you Ironborn are crazy.
It's all right. It's all right. I love those fighting class characters, and I love to flavor mine all kinds of really just badass ways. So I have a awesome Rune Knight fighter. Her name is Berta Blackhammer, and I don't know why, but she has a southern accent.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's my dwarven artificer. Her name's Arkin Stormhand. He talks like this. He's got 20 intelligence, but he sounds like a rube.
Okay. Oh,
Hey, I got a high level. He's 11th level artificer that I played.
So we are punching these stats. Let me know if I'm getting these correct. I don't have
8
it.
is a -1, 13 is a +1.
-1. I got the +1, and I got the 0 for intelligence. This is going to be a 5.
Yep. And then a 1 and a 3.
6. Yep, and then a 3. Okay, perfect. And now proficiency bonus at level 5. Is that still 2 proficiency bonus?
No, proficiency bonus goes up at 5, so it's a 3.
Okay. All right. So we are at a 3 proficiency bonus.
And now we can take first level fighter.
Let's do this.
So first level fighter comes with a couple of proficiencies that we can pick, and we probably want to pick up like maybe athletics and animal handling, which we didn't get. Or did we?
No, we already have athletics.
We have athletics.
So animal handling, I feel like that's true to his character because he is very good with his horse that nobody else is good with. And he's also very good with dogs.
I would also make an argument that he may be proficient in insight.
Okay. I feel like that might be true to his character as well.
Because he is like a personal guard. He's on the lookout pretty much all the time. He understands the way the world works. He understands how people work. So if somebody, so he gets 2 skills, and I think athletics and insight are what I would pick. But like, obviously, there's people in the chat with some great ideas tonight.
Okay, let me take a look at the chat. I was trying to pull up my second browser.
They're very hung up on your jewelry still.
Okay. Apparently that's pretty popular. Yes, I do have a necklace that is composed of disembodied male genitalia.
I did have a character not long ago.
Dark too.
I did have a character, not my character, somebody in one of my games not long ago, wore a troll stomach like a fanny pack, which I thought was pretty funny.
A troll stomach fanny pack?
Yeah.
I have one of the, or I don't have it anymore. I had one at one time. I did.
Okay.
Yes, we could have been twinning. I don't have it anymore. I wish I did, because we could be twinning right now with our troll stomach fanny packs. Okay.
Well, nobody's disagreeing with me.
Okay. See, I have my own unique army. Smart. Okay, so let's take a look. We were still. Yes, I do wear the dick necklace. Let's take a look at our options for skills. I think animal handling is very good.
Yeah, I don't know that insight's on the list though. Now that I
It's not
think
on
of
the
it,
list.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
I'm gonna just Google it myself.
Okay, I've got it up now. Choose two. So we have acrobatics. No, I don't think he's
No.
animal handling. Insight is there. So
Yes,
the
it is.
others are intimidation, which we already have. Perception. He might be more of a perceiver than an insightful.
You might be
Um,
right. You might be
mhm.
right.
And then there's also the survival, and I feel like he's like Beyonce, right? He's like, I'm a survivor. So
How dare you? Nobody is like Beyonce. Only Beyonce.
I don't know. Sandra Clegane is almost a Beyonce. Yeah. Okay. So we have our options are acrobatics, and I do not feel like he is proficient in that. So I feel like we can move on. Animal handling, I think yes, maybe. Athletics, we already have. History, not so much. Insight, you can make an argument for insight. Intimidation, yes, but we already have
that.
Perception, you can make an argument for that, and also survival. So I feel like the ones that we're really looking at are animal handling, perception, survival. And I feel like he's more of a survival, or he's better at surviving than he is at animal handling. So I between those two, so I feel like it's between perception and survival. And
yeah, I think you're right, and most of the chat agrees with you that it's perception over insight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and and if we were building a play, like a character that we were gonna play, I would choose perception just because you make more perception checks.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's better at perception as he is at just living, just keep
Okay, but survival is a specific skill of like tracking and building a fire and building a shelter and like.
True.
Yes, he's got those abilities.
Yes. You're absolutely right. I think perception. You're absolutely right. So yeah, perception.
Okay, I like that. Animal handling and perception.
Well, actually, I think it was where were we? It was just over there. I think it was okay.
Because there were 4 we were considering: animal handling, perception,
so
insight.
Animal handling, yes, animal handling and perception. So let's go ahead and give that to him. All right, so animal handling right there. Perception right there. Okay, I feel good about that. I feel very good about that. Okay. Also, we probably need to add our saving throws.
Yeah, so fighters get strength and con.
Beautiful. Perfect. Now we can add our stats here. And that's the only thing I don't like about these Wizards of the Coast fillable character sheets is when you get to these, stats right here for your saving throws and your skills, they are super tiny. So you have to manually kind of enter everything in.
Mm-hmm.
So
again, I like Roll20 for this reason because it, like, if we were using Roll20 character sheet, all those numbers would be there right now.
Right. 1 second. Hold on. I'm going to mute myself for a moment.
Okay. Well, there's still a couple of other things to look at for a first level fighter anyway. One of them being the fighting style. And a fighter gets several choices of fighting style. For the Hound, I can see a couple of different ones where that makes some kind of sense for me. So there's, I mean, the 2 obvious ones I think are the defense fighting style or the dueling fighting style. Those are the two that make most sense to me. Oh yes, obviously archery, of course, Steve. But it could be great weapon fighting, because if I'm remembering right, the Hound doesn't really ever use a shield. If he does, I don't remember it. Somebody tell me, does he? Okay, defender. Let's look at what the defender fighting style is. There is no defender. It's called protection, is that fighting style. Protection fighting style is when a creature you can see attacks the target other than you within 5 feet, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage. You must be wielding a shield. So he does use a shield. I'm just not remembering. It's been long enough since I've interacted with the story. But yeah, like I could see it. I could see, you're right, he did use a shield versus Beric Dondarrion. That might be the only time I can recall him using a shield. Like, yes, maybe that's the better way to put it, Shane, is that he doesn't rely on a shield, but he used one because, man, did he ever not want to get hit. So he wanted to up his armor class as much as possible against a flaming sword. Yeah. So, and he does tend to two-hand his sword quite a bit. So I think, yeah, great weapon fighting might be the way to go. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Amanda, come back. We miss you. So where are we at? I'm feeling great weapon master, or great weapon fighting. Great weapon master is a feat. Well, he'll probably have that as well. Man, I could really use some more coffee right now. I drank all of my coffee, but I'd have to go make it. Oh, hello, Christine. Never podcast. Hello. I was playing playing D&D with Christine. Never podcast earlier today.
Very nice. So what did I miss?
Oh, we're talking about fighting style. Fighters get a fighting style at level 1. Yes. I think we've kind of mostly agreed on great weapon fighting.
Okay. I think that's fair for him.
Like I talked about defense and dueling styles, and he does occasionally use a shield. Like in his fight with Beric Dondarrion, he used a shield, but most of the time he doesn't. He does not rely on a shield very often.
Okay. So we are going to go fighting style, and when we add our feat for being a variant human, great weapon master would also be very good. Let's see, fighting style. We are going to go with great weapon.
Oh, thank you, Big Hat Legion. Amanda, you owe me $2 now.
What'd I do? $2? What'd I do?
Oh, Big Hat Legion sent you a super chat, but it's got my name in it, so.
Oh, I do owe you $2.
No, you don't. You don't. You don't. It's just. Oh.
To the DM in the north. No, I'll give you $2. But that's awesome. Thank you.
I live in the same state Amanda does. We live in the south.
We do. We actually live like 3 hours away.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe 4.
So, I'm in Round Rock. I'm in like north.
Oh, you moved then.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
Round Rock's like,
Yes.
maybe 3 hours just at the outside.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
did you get to see the eclipse?
I did.
Me
I
too.
did.
It was pretty
I
awesome.
did. It was amazing. In fact, we have video of us just like going, ooh, ah. And then we live right next to a middle school and an elementary school, and they let all the kids out to watch the eclipse. And so as it started to go into like full totality, all of the kids in the schools next door, you just hear them screaming.
Yes,
It was
we could hear
amazing.
the kids screaming as
Yes,
well.
yes, it was so cool. It was adorable.
Anyway, yeah. So I am in the northern part of Texas.
Yes, yes. He is in the north. I am in High Garden of Texas.
Maybe the
I'm in
Riverlands, but yeah.
yeah. But I'm trying to turn my backyard into High Garden right now, and it's getting gorgeous. So
Nice.
I will claim High Garden right now. At least that's the plan. So yeah. But Steve is in the north.
Yeah, I'm the burbs of Dallas. Do we want to get back to our character sheet?
Okay. Yes, we do. Okay.
Okay, so he also gets second wind. If you care to put that on the character sheet, he does get
Mm-hmm.
second wind.
Second wind.
Which I think you put in the wrong place.
I always put it there because I am not very good about doing like the flaws and the ideals and stuff like that. And so I end up just kind of like putting.
Hey, it's your character sheet, whatever works for you. But
yeah, that's kind of where, and I don't even know how to take that out now. Let me see.
That doesn't matter.
Delete. But anyway. But we could go into personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws because he definitely does have them. But yeah, so I moved second wind over there, like a good player, and put it in the features and traits because that is what he has. I also actually usually put the fighting style over here.
Okay.
Because that's where I put it. I don't know, where does everybody put their fighting style when they do that, because that's where I end up putting it, is kind of below there, and only because it usually has a way to just modify what you're doing as far as like your attack goes, and so it's kind of helps remind me of what I've got going on with my character.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good spot for that. So let's take a look. Oh no. I think it just started raining heavily.
Oh no, rain's good.
Yes. So I may have to pick up a young man from school. Let's see.
Oh, I see.
Yes, it's just started raining heavily all of a sudden. Let's hope that got about 8 minutes. Let's hope that it's just one of those.
Okay, 8 minutes. Let's crank this out. He gets.
I know. Let's do. Well.
He gets action surge. He gets a martial archetype.
Yes.
Like, I think we ought to hit the decision points anyway. So he gets a martial archetype, and I'm going to throw it out there right now. Champion fighter. Like,
I was thinking this. I completely agree, especially if you're going to do great weapon master, because with the great weapon master, you have an option to like crit, right? An expanded crit range, correct?
Yes.
And so if you take great weapon master, and this isn't necessarily for an OP build, but I just feel like the synergy between the build, between the two is really great if your DM allows it, so that instead of critting at like 19 to 20, you're now critting at like 18 to 20. But even though it's kind of just trying to use that synergy, I still feel like it is still kind of accurate for the Hound. I do. So
yeah, I mean, he is about being the most effective in person-to-person, one-on-one killer. He's not trying to lead people in battle. He's not trying to do, you know, he's certainly not an Eldritch Knight. He's not a battle master because he's not doing. He's
exactly.
not,
Like Jaime
yeah.
Lannister is a battle master fighter. Absolutely, 100%. You know, parry, all of the different maneuvers. Like he, that is his, you know, that's his niche. He is just an excellent fighter. But Sandor Clegane, he is just, you know, a strength-based fighter, and he hits hard and he is intimidating, and that is his character. That's how he fights. And I feel like adding Great Weapon Master with the feat of Great Weapon Master and Great Weapon Fighting together and Champion Fighter, I feel like the package as a whole really suits the character.
And like this is an extremely deadly, extremely dangerous killer.
Exactly. It says Big Hat Legion, every fucking chicken in this room.
Every one of them.
Yes, every one of them. That is Sandor Clegane. Absolutely. So we have, that's pretty much what we have. Let's take a look. Do we have an option for a second feat?
We do have so hold on. I'm gonna pull up some feats.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of them.
I feel like there's a couple like tough, and I feel isn't there like a resilient? I feel
there
like
is both of those
really go well.
Yeah. So tough, I think, is just it's a bunch of extra hit points.
And
I think resilient gives you +1 to a stat, and then proficiency with saving throws in that stat, which I actually don't think.
Yeah, I feel like more hit points would be.
Yeah, so if he's just tough, which he's got a 20 Constitution, so.
So the
even at level 5. So let's see, if he takes average, that's a 6 per level. So that's plus con bonus, so that's 11 per level. So that's 44 from leveling up, 15 from level 1, which is 59, plus 10 more from tough because he's getting 2 per level, 69 hit points. Something just feels right about that. Will somebody double check my math on that? So he gets a D10 plus, so 10 plus 5 at level 1 is 15. Average is a 6 plus 5 is 11 per level. That's 44. 15 plus 44 is 59. Plus 10 is 69. Nice.
Yeah. All right, so we are at 69 hit points.
At level 5, that's nuts, by the way, y'all.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Nuts.
That's good. All right, armor class. So he wears full plate. So we're going to give him credit for full plate, and that's an 18 right there.
Yeah.
So looking at AC of 18, unless we wanted to change his fighting style, we're looking at that.
I mean, you can, but I think we've got it right this way.
Okay.
Sorry, excuse me.
I feel like this is accurate. This is his character.
Yeah.
Indeed, at 18, but that's just because people try and do builds that are just overpowered, and so they just try and bump up that AC as high as they can get it. But this is how he fights.
Man, don't ask me what my dwarven artificer's armor class.
Oh, I don't even want to know. I think Shane had like what was it, like the highest it would go to, depending on his reactions and everything, it was like a 27. It's just like so insane to hit. Like, how are you gonna hit that?
So my character runs around with a 24, and then a shield spell can take him to a 29.
That is just insane.
It's pretty nuts. But hit him with a dex save, and he's screwed.
Mm. Okay, so a correction, 30 AC max.
Yeah, I can get to a 29 with my 11th level artificer, and I know I like it's
Oh, the
possible to go
savage
above 30, but
attack.
say again.
Oh, you know what? John has a good recommendation. Savage Attacker.
All right, I'm gonna look at that.
That's true. That's the one where you re-roll, right? That's re-roll the damage, and you
Reroll
use the higher.
damage dice for melee weapon attacks.
That's strong. That is strong.
Once per
There.
turn. Okay, so you can do it once on your turn and once per reaction.
Mm-hmm.
You can re-roll the weapon's damage dice and use either total. Okay, I like it.
I like it too.
And you're re-rolling ones, and you're.
Which one do you feel like is more? We could take away the Great Weapon Master and give him Savage Attacker and Tough.
So Great Weapon Master is the one that does plus 10 damage for a -5 to hit, right? Yeah, I think we can get rid of that one.
I think so too. I think Savage Attacker and Tough is more in line with the character.
I agree.
So, yeah. So the feats are going to be Tough and Savage Attacker. Excellent. Yes, let's do that. Let us do that.
Okay, but Shane, we can't take out Tough because then he won't have 69 hit points.
Okay, let's see. Savage Attacker.
Also, it's 420.
I know. Let me check the situation outside. I know that it died down. I don't know how much. Let me see the situation. This is like Texas weather, so 1 minute it'll be pouring down rain, and the second minute
sunshiny the next.
Yeah. So let me just take a look. Oh.
Is there a feat called Champion? I'm going to Google that.
Okay, so I probably should. It's not far if you wanted to finish anything out before I left.
No, I mean like obviously there's a bunch of numbers you'd be trying to fill in, and we haven't. But like if he's 5th level,
character, it's mostly just kind of filling in the details that we kind of already have hashed out and filling it the character sheet in more. But I feel like we made a hound that's fairly accurate to the character.
There's something to be said about making him higher level. But at that point, all we're really getting for fighter at level 6 and level 8 is 2 more feats. And you can go in and add in the 2 weapon master, or something like the alert feat, which is a little bit min-maxy, but I think the alert feat actually works really well for him because he's always on guard. He's always paying attention. Like, very rarely does he get surprised. Although, well, in the TV show, he gets surprised by Biter.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most of us thought that was pretty weird when it happened on the TV show anyway.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so if you wanted to level him up, really, I think you're just taking Great Weapon Master at level 6, at level 7. Mm-hmm. What does a fighter get at 7? I'm about to find out.
I have it up here.
At 5th level or 7th level, they get a martial archetype feature, which for a champion.
Remarkable athlete, which, I think that works too. Starting at 7th level, you can add half your proficiency bonus to any strength, dex, or con check you make that doesn't already use your proficiency bonus. So
and like, so you can level him up pretty easily because he's going to gain 11 hit points every level, and then he gets a feat, then he gets a remarkable athlete, then he gets a feat. If we take him 6, 7, or 8, have your pick there. I feel like Great Weapon Master is one he does want to pick up, and after that, Um, uh, Heavy Armor Master is an overlooked feat. I've got a fighter that uses it in one of my games, and he's so hard to hit. Basically, while you're wearing heavy armor, you take 3 less damage from every non-magical slashing, bludgeoning, and piercing attack against you, which is the Hound shrugging off, knowing how to interpose his armor. He even talks about why Marin Trant beat Serial Pharrell when he's talking to Arya. He tells her, he won because he had armor. Anyway, that's just no, you're fine. Kids and stuff. You need to know his hit and damage at 5th level. Okay, so he is a +8 to hit, +5 to damage. Yeah. Yeah, +8 to hit, +5 to damage. On his great sword, which is going to hit for 2d6, and he's going to roll the damage twice, re-rolling ones, and then take the better result. So yeah, he's definitely a DPS build. He also crits on a 19 or a 20. So yeah, he's a DPS build, which doesn't surprise because that's always how he's been portrayed in the show, as very straightforward, brutal attacker. Like, I think of the scene where he has to go save Sansa from the mob, and there's not a lot of finesse going on there. It's just brutal, dead, killing people.
Absolutely. So I do have an update. So I just it stopped raining, and I touched base with my son. So he's a big kid now. He is 16 actually, and he's walking, and so we are okay for the moment. So.
But yeah, is there anything else we want to talk about with him?
I think that those are the big things. We could definitely talk about his flaws. We could talk about those attributes that he has. He definitely has some pretty big ones. For example, he's got the fear of fire, personality traits. He definitely has this enmity towards his brother. His ideals. What would you say his ideals?
That's a really good question.
What do you think, Sandor Clegane? If you could write you could look at the different options for ideals, like in the soldier. You could pick one. Just like very generic, but ideals for Sandor Clegane. The Hound's alignment.
Here's the thing: Sandor doesn't really lie. He'd much rather tell you the ugly truth. So, but is that an ideal? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Again, like that true neutral really shining through here.
Yeah, that is. Fireflaw, yeah, 3 times fast just for fun. Fireflaw. That is hard to say. Fireflaw. We got reflective rambling in the chat. She's popping in for some love.
Hello, yeah, reflective rambling. Yes. Another. I don't get to play D&D with them, but yeah, we are in a sort of chat community together.
Absolutely. We are trying to figure out what the Hound's ideals are.
Yeah, like
survival at any cost. I think that might be accurate, Eric.
That's the best I've heard so far.
Yeah. I like it. His ideal is that the world is run by killers. True that. The world is run by killers and survival at any cost. think that
Yeah, I like that. And his his biggest bond is killing his brother.
Yeah.
Like,
Ideals.
that is the reason he still cares about living.
The world is run by killers. Survival at any cost. The world is run by killers. And then what did you say for bond is with his brother?
Killing the mountain. Killing Ragnar.
Yep. Okay. He is set on revenge toward.
But what are the grave diggers' ideals? That's a great question, Jackie.
Who?
It's hard to say because we don't have like firsthand. Also, thank you, Reflective Rambling, for gifting a membership to the channel. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. I just learned how those gifts work. Steve had to tell me how they work. That is really awesome.
And another one.
Awesome. So Steve was saying that the way that they work is the next person who comes into the chat is gifted a membership, which is
or
awesome.
Somebody who's already here that doesn't have it might be gifted it. Like as soon as they're being gifted, they're being assigned.
Oh, like, that is really awesome.
One went to Orange Tabby. One went to, what's the name? Indrakni.
Okay. How do you see how they?
I've got chat open on my phone, like YouTube chat.
Oh,
open
okay,
on my phone.
okay.
And then my phone just turned all the way down.
And Reflective Rambling sent a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. That is awesome.
Don't let her fool you. She's mean.
She's mean?
Oh, yeah. She real mean. Can't you tell?
Oh, very mean. So we were looking at set on revenge toward his brother who killed his family and disfigured him.
Yep.
And his flaws, he is a deep set fear.
Yeah. Pyrophobic.
Fear of fire. And personality traits.
Total number of shits left to give, 0. Loves chicken.
Doesn't give a shit.
Right.
Shit. Doesn't give a shit. I like it. I like that. Doesn't give a shit. Survival at any cost. The world is run by killers set on revenge toward his brother who killed his family and disfigured him. He has got a deep set fear of fire. Beautiful. I think that's great.
Sorry about the phone notification.
Oh no, it's okay.
I'm just, you know who you are. I see you. Don't worry about it, Amanda. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thanks, Shane. I've always enjoyed Amanda. By the way, for those of you that don't know, back when I did my stream, I used to interview content creators, and I interviewed Amanda. I mean, it's been 4 or 5 years ago at this point.
Yes.
But it's on the channel, Crowfood's Daughter, where we talked about a whole bunch of stuff.
I Know That Nerd, right?
I Know That Nerd is the name of that series. Yes. So if you care, I Know That Nerd, Crowfood's Daughter, you'll find it. It's out there. That's back when my hair was still brown.
I'm starting to get that too. I'm 43 now.
I'm 49, and like I used to have dark brown hair. Like you can see, maybe this is easier. You know, like this was my natural hair color. Now I'm just let it snow. Let it snow.
Let it snow. It says Papa Bear can hibernate like no one's business.
Anyway, I like this character. I would play this character.
I do too. I would like to. So my plan is to actually build several, like do several of these. I'd love to do a Daemon Targaryen one. I'd like to build several play up like characters that are true. And I would love to run at least a one-off campaign, you know, like a one-off adventure.
Yeah, where you play. Like I
Yeah.
had that idea where the conceit of it was it's the long night at Winterfell.
Yes, where you have like the Night King and his army,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe you would build a character like two different factions. So you'd have like Cersei, and then like the Unmountain, Ungregor, and you know like Jaime Lannister, but then you know or one party against the other, and see who comes out on top. There's all different. I feel like that the Night King build would just be insane, and that you know that has to be a level 20. That is a level 20, no questions asked.
He's over 11 for sure. If the Hound is 5, he's over 11 for sure. Like
At
he needs
least
to be.
you know what?
Yeah.
Okay, come
Like
on now.
and probably much higher if I'm a conservative dungeon master. Okay.
So he would have to be level 20. But of course, how can you get your characters to fight such a high-powered character if you build them to a 20?
Yeah, like
Especially when he has an entire army of the dead. So yeah, I could maybe see building him a little bit lower. You know,
like
lower.
17 would still be a crazy powerful character.
Yes, still crazy powerful.
If you're comparing it to level 5 or even
like some sort of like mage or like warlock or you know some sort of magic user, and a magic user at those levels they're
nuts. Like there are very few spellcasters, which is one of the reasons like I would love to make a Melisandre build.
I would love to do that too, or
a character that
Arya. I would love to do Arya.
Arya is great because Arya might be like I'm going to fudge Sandor up to level 8 because we discussed that. That lets me put Arya at level 6, maybe.
And you know, she's got to have at least one level of fighter to get that blind fighting style.
No, Gloomstalker Ranger, Assassin Rogue.
Assassin Rogue, yes. And now they have that faceless background, like this faceless assassin type background that is like built for an Arya build. It really is. I feel like they were inspired by Game of Thrones when they had developed that background, specifically with Arya's character.
Like building Jon out as an actual ranger, although he like fighter ranger. There's building out Jaime Lannister as a paladin.
As a paladin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How many oaths has he swore? They made him swear and swear.
Well, he's definitely sworn them. He's not an oath. He's definitely an oath breaker.
Depends on how you look at it. Again, this is a fun conversation to have. Like,
right,
and I know this. There's a lot. Like what?
Yeah.
But like Jon Snow, I would love to build Jon Snow out. By the way, I think Jon Snow is 14, 14, 14, 12, 12, 12.
He is well-rounded. He is definitely well-rounded, but he would definitely have to have like some like a ranger, obviously. I can see that. And then he's got some fighter.
I've got anyway, it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Davos, the rogue who pivoted into, believe it or not, maybe Bard, because he is putting a lot of charisma use.
Yeah, I can see Bard. I feel like he's definitely got the smuggler. I think there is a smuggler background.
Yeah, I think so.
So you definitely
there's an urchin background as well, and if you grew up in Flea Bottom with no parents, that's
yeah, you could definitely swim that way.
The Mountain as a barbarian.
Oh, he's definitely got barbarian levels in him. And I would he's like one of the one characters that I would not necessarily even make him human. I would make him a Goliath. I would. Like, And I would make Darkstar a drow.
Okay, now we're getting crazy here, but like I love it. This is a, but I will say this, this that we just made here, this Sandor feels actually really spot on to me. Like I love how tough he is. Yes, he's dangerous and he can do a lot of damage, but I do love how tough he is. At level 5 to have 69 hit points is insane. That's like actually crazy.
Nice. So Voice of Geekdom, he says that he did a stream with you on your channel once where you did D&D classes for all the members.
We did.
That is awesome. I need to check that out.
Yeah, I think we did it for like the whole fellowship. And we had a lot of the same types of conversations, you know?
Right. Right. Where you're like,
forgot about that, Dan. I haven't streamed in a minute. It's been a while.
Yeah, yeah. That's really cool. That's
So
really cool.
I don't know if you know Voice of Geekdom, but he's a Tolkien tuber.
Yeah, he does Tolkien. He's got a Tolkien channel.
Yeah, and
it's
quite
on there.
Like your best Silmarillion videos you're ever gonna find. That's what I'm gonna. You need to get back to those, Dan. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. I love D&D. Like I love all things nerdy, but I played my first game of D&D in like 1985, and I've just never quit. You know. And I somehow managed to turn it into the thing that I do for money. So squish your builds. I love it.
That would be awesome. What would you use? Like a not a Triton. A
Sahagin or a Kuatoa or something like that.
Oh, I tried to make this one character. What is the character that has like 4 arms? Or the race that has 4 arms?
I don't know.
For that, I built it. It's like an insect, right?
Oh, is it a Ankeg?
Is that what it is? I'm not sure.
Ankeg is like an ant creature.
It's like it has 4 arms, and I'm like, I can have 2 weapons and shield, and I'll still have an arm left over
to flip you off.
That's right.
Oh, Thrycreen, yes.
Thrycreen, yes, that's the one. I almost did a character build with the Thrycreen. Yeah, Thrycreen.
So Sansa is a bard. Sansa is a bard build and a very good one. She's probably eloquence bard. No, you know.
I don't know.
Anyway,
she might just be a great NPC.
No.
Just like I mean, she's got some. I mean, she can play the Game of Thrones, so. But
so
I don't know.
I play a College of Eloquence bard. It's one of the characters I'm playing right now. Basically, I play 2, a barbarian and a bard, currently.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're doing the barbarian build with the? Are you doing a grappler build with the barbarian?
No. So my barbarian is like it's very flavor. Fire, Genasi, Ancestor Guardian, Barbarian, angry all the time.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
But no, my other character that I'm playing is a bard, a College of Eloquence bard, who doesn't fight unless they absolutely have to. Isn't very good when they do, but they can talk, they can wheel and deal and get convince people. Yeah, I could see Sansa doing something like that. Because I also want to, like, if we're making character sheets for everybody, let's make it for everybody, man.
Right. True. No. True that. I could. You could definitely find a way to flavor her too as a character, and she is Sandor's little bird, so she is a bird. She is a woman with power, and she's learning how to use it. So I can see that. But her sister Arya is the character build that I would want to do.
Okay, rogue.
Yeah, and Peter. I feel like Peter would be a good build as well. Like you could build a Peter
Peter
Baelish.
Baelish, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is he? I don't think he's a bard. I think he is a rogue. I think he's a mastermind rogue.
Mm-hmm. I feel like he has some bard. I feel like
Maybe
he has like maybe a level in bard. He's not, he's not very magical, and bards are kind of magical characters,
that's
but
true.
he's quite the trickster. He's quite the trickster, and he's got a lot of skills. He's kind of a jack of all trades and master of some, and
Which
yeah, and yeah, I feel like maybe a one level dip in bard, and then the rest,
I
straight
could
rogue.
see that.
Hmm. Yeah, I could see that too. We could build a Peter Baelish and a Varys, make him
Oh
a
man,
mermaid.
see, like, yeah.
Squisher. We could do a Varys squisher build. Just remembering about the
so,
Varys
so yeah,
mermaid.
when you make Varys, when we make that character,
Made.
we just got to remember he's a water genasi, right?
Yes. Varys. Somebody made a Varys is a mermaid theory, and I'm sure if you guys know about have been in the fandom for a little bit, you've probably heard of it. And for some reason, that was just crossing my mind the other day. I don't know why. So yeah, we could do a Varys squisher build. I'm gonna make my favorite man crow food. My favorite. Oh, Varys. What's my favorite man? Euron. Um, do an insane build for Euron.
Oh yeah, you're on would be a fun wild build.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I feel like Euron would be great, and then Daemon Targaryen, and make an opposing Aemon, and then make them fight.
And then make them fight.
That's right.
Like I want to make Dunk the Lunk.
Dunk would be super good, and he would definitely get the street urchin background.
Or
Um,
or Blood Raven. Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Blood Raven would be good. But it's like how what at what point in his life are you going
Right.
to are you going to make the three-eyed crow Blood Raven? Are you going to make the Lord Commander Blood Raven? Are you going to make the Commander of the Raven's Teeth Blood Raven?
Yeah. Right.
He is so multifaceted. He has worn so many hats, and he has so many different like layers to him. He is just one of the most fascinating characters in A Song of Ice and Fire. Absolutely. Oh, from history, the Grey King. I would love to do a Grey King build.
Oh yeah.
That is my man.
Age
The
of
Grey
Heroes.
King is my man.
Age of Heroes characters, the Grey King, and like make a Garth Greenhand that's a 20th level druid. The Grey King can be a 20th level something.
Yes.
That would be fun.
And
right,
Renifer,
exactly. There's your level 20.
There's your level 20 right there. How about Euron Post Hightower Adventure, Evil Azora High? There's your level 20 right there. Absolutely. He is becoming a god. He is becoming a god.
Or like summoning Cthulhu, maybe. Like I think he thinks he's becoming a god. I'm not convinced that's what's actually happening. But I think he thinks that's what will happen.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that he believes that he's summoning a god, and I believe that he is going to. I have a theory video on my channel, and I do believe that it is Azor High, and there's a lot of hints to it. You should check it out. I don't know if you have yet or not, but that's my theory, and I tend to lean towards that, towards that right there. And okay, reflective rambling, dipping out. Thank you for coming by. So yeah. Yeah, the Cthulhu references, or just the Lovecraftian references, are very interesting, and they go beyond just the Ironborn. They actually you can see them speckled throughout the series, and throughout like ancient historical references, all the way over to the Far East as well. I kind of talk about the Lovecraftian references in my Maze Maker video, particularly, especially when you go to the island of Lorath and the kingdom of Sarnor. So if you get a chance, check those out too. But
I watched them way back when you first released them. I should revisit
yeah,
them though. God, because it's been so long.
yes,
Like,
and at the end of the video, I discuss what Euron. I kind of tease what that base is capable of, and in that Maze Maker video at the very end, I kind of tease at what that base is possibly capable of. And then at within my third Head of the Dragon video, I kind of go a little bit more in depth as far as what Euron is planning in that first one, and also the one that followed with his High Tower Ascension. So yeah, check those out.
yeah, check those out.
But dragons versus squid.
Yeah, it's going to be a thing.
Absolutely. So you know why they use the kraken for the iconography for the Ironborn.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the whole storm god myth. So there is another, it's House Saltcliffe. House Saltcliffe has what looks like a hydra, and it is a many-headed snake. And so you're like, oh, that's a hydra. It's a hydra reference. Well, there's more than one many-headed snake within myth and folklore. And so there's another one. His name is Lodan. And Lovecraft actually references Lodan in there. And Lodan is basically like a storm god type of a reference. But what's interesting about this, and it's that storm god kind of focus on their entire religion. I really need to do a video on it, but people have already gone into the whole storm god versus the serpent theme, and so I feel like it's already been done. But what's really interesting is that squids were believed to have influenced people's ideas of the myth of the hydra, of the many-headed snake. So
That makes
people
sense, though.
seeing those squid in the water, it is actually what those myths of these many-headed snakes are based out of. And that's why you have this duality of like hydra being in comics, hydra is an octopus, and it's the same concept where the two are kind of interchangeably connected. And it's part of that that basis in that myth. So you have like the many-headed snake, and then you have the squid, and it all kind of ties back to this theme within mythology, and it goes all the way back to the light. I should do a video on it.
And I'm going to tell you this too. There's a giant squid in D&D. There's also a kraken in D&D. And let me tell you, a kraken in D&D is terrifying. Like dragon levels of terrifying. A natural armor class of 18, 472 hit points on average. It's got legendary actions, which any creature that gets legendary actions and legendary resistances is a big, nasty, terrifying thing.
They are super nasty. Have you played the new Kraken game? There was like a Kickstarter for it. We got it. It's actually that Kraken is so hard to kill. We played it twice. We have not been able to kill the Kraken yet. We got a lot farther the second time.
What game is this?
Let me go grab it. It's just like right around the corner. I will tell you, there was a Kickstarter for it. It's fun. And there's like a phase 1 and a phase 2.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm like, Jaded Redhead is asking a board game. And so I'm like, a board game? A board game of, is it a board game of Krakens?
Yes.
Sweet.
Here it is. Here it is.
It sounds like it's one of those co-op style board games where like it's like the players versus the game.
So it is called Davy Jones's Locker, The Kraken Wakes.
Okay. Jaded Redhead is blowing up in your chat because not like that's one of my players. I don't know. Do you know Jaded Redhead?
Who?
Jaded Redhead? Jaded Redhead?
Oh, yes. That's a board game.
Yeah, so like she sails ships. Used to be like work at a museum and sail tall ships.
Oh, that's legit. That is legit.
And she and her husband William McQuitty are like board game uber nerds. So like,
oh, nice.
I imagine they're both vibrating right now.
No, you guys, there's like a Kickstarter for it, and it's got a like phase 1 and phase 2, and this is like one of the few board games because usually like you're working against the other players. This year we're all working as a team, so you have a phase 1 and phase 2 where you're kind of like building your resources and your ships up, and then on the phase 2 on the second stage you are fighting the Kraken. So
that sounds like a lot of fun.
We enjoy it. It's fun. We got our butts kicked the first time though. That Kraken just whooped our butt the first time, and then we were like, no, we're gonna get him this time. He still got us, but we got some strategy. Next time, I think we're gonna get him. We are gonna get there.
What's the name of the game?
It is called Davy Jones's Locker, The Kraken Wakes. So
the Kraken Wakes.
And it does have really nice like Kraken minis that you can paint if you're like into painting minis. There's minis that you can paint. We haven't painted ours yet. We've been talking about it. Yeah, so I should pull out the minis. The minis are beautiful, by the way. I'm probably gonna regret this. I'm always the one that has to put this stuff back together. Hold on. Let's see, there they are.
I love how we're like nowhere near making a character for Sandor Clegane right now, and everybody's just okay with it.
I think we are done with that part. But these are the I don't know if you can see that, but these are
you can give yourself full camera, if you want.
Oh, okay. Do like this?
Yep, okay. You figured it right out.
Okay, so
tentacles.
I don't know. There we go. It's starting to kind of see if you can see. There is a lot of detail in them when seen up close, and then the actual Kraken is just disgusting. He is just.
Looks very bulbous. I see some eyes. See,
yes,
I'm telling you, Jaded Redhead would paint those.
Oh yes, he is gorgeous, and he's got lots of texture to him. So yeah, and I do paint. I'm just kind of starting out. Like I said, I started playing DnD like a couple years ago, so I've painted a few characters, but we have lots of paints though. So.
Nice. Well, I gotta say, Amanda, this was a lot of fun. I haven't streamed, I quit streaming about 6 months ago.
Absolutely. Well, so I will be doing more of these, and the next one that I have will be probably Arya. So if you would like to join me again to build up
I would love
Arya
to.
into a gorgeous faceless men nasty ass killer, let's do it. Let's totally build a nasty Arya, because Sandor Clegane needs to have his buddy. He needs his battle buddy.
Right. Can't
So,
have the buddy cop road comedy without.
no. And here, let me put this back on. Let me see how we do this. There we go.
That's one way.
There we go. Yeah. We'll definitely have to build up Arya.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Just let me know. I'm available most. Again, I'm a professional dungeon master. That's my job now, and so
Okay.
most of my work is like in the evening after people are done working, or on the weekends. When people are off work. So this timing was pretty good for me.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that this is a good time for people and stuff. And so I think that what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to, because there's eventually you're going to have to run out of characters. Like, George R. R. Martin has got so many characters, but I'm like, after like a year, if I do this every week, I'm going to run out of characters. So I'm thinking like every other week is probably what I'm thinking.
You just let me know. Let me know when.
Absolutely. And Jackie, this fancy mug, this is a Shane Coker's over there. This is William Marshall cup, and it is hand painted. Our other one, we had two. The other one was stolen this past weekend. So.
Oh no.
Yes. It was.
That is a very nice cup.
Yes, it's handmade, hand painted, very lovely. So, all right. Well, anyway, I guess we are gonna probably wrap this up. I want to say thank you to all of the moderators in the chat and to everybody who contributed and gave input into our build. I really do feel like we made a Sandor Clegane that is true to the character. And maybe at some point we will be able to actually play him in actual play. So absolutely. What I'm going to do is in my free time, I will be kind of filling out some of the stuff that we had decided on, but the details just need to be put in, and we will have a full character sheet. So.
Yeah, like it's all done but the crying for that character sheet, which is the math part,
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's just getting like the details. So, obviously it's a great weapon master, so he's going to have a great sword.
Right.
And just getting like the hit, to hit and everything in there and on all the other things. So yeah. So I will do that in my free time, and I will have a playable Sandor Clegane. And pretty soon we will have a playable Arya and a playable all kinds of different characters.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to think of like obscure, like Sam Tarley. I can't wait to build Sam Tarley as a D&D character, because I'm gonna give him at least one level of wizard so that he can live his best life. He always wanted to be a wizard. I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, he in the Citadel, he's got access to a lot of different things. So
just saying.
It's possible, and in fact, I think he's probably got a magic horn right now. So he's definitely magic. What is the word? He is magic adjacent.
Yeah.
He is. Yes. So awesome.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Also, if I may, if you need a dungeon master, hire me. I'm been doing it for a very long time, and I want to keep doing it. So hire me to be your DM. If you don't know how to play, I'm good at that. Since the pandemic started, I've taught about 40 people how to play D&D. So yeah, I've got it down to like knowing what you hire me.
Absolutely. And tell people where they can find you.
Okay, actually the best way, like you can find me on Twitter at real Steven Stark, Steven with a V. Also, if you want to contact me through like the website I use for work. It's called startplaying.games. So, and then it's Here Be Dragons. I'm here. I've got YouTube channel Here Be Dragons as well. If you want to go watch some of my old stuff, we talked about. I interviewed Amanda back in the day. I've done like made characters for Lord of the Rings characters with Voice of Geekdom in the past. So yeah,
Absolutely.
Here Be
Absolutely.
Dragons. That's where you'll find me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for the moderators, and thank you everybody that came out and hung out with us and gave us your input. I look forward to making other characters, and thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. See you later.
Oh, Jackie C just followed me on Twitter. Hi, Jackie.
Hey.
Bye, y'all.
All right. Good night.